Zero Mile is a Terminus Media production. If you would like to know more about Terminus Media, please head on over to terminusmedia.com. Now, on with your show.
Hi, welcome to Zero Mile, your final stop in Atlanta's geek culture. I'm your host, Kelly McDaniel, and these are my co-hosts.
Zonga Fielding.
And I'm Matthew Malice. I'm sitting in for Chris Cowan this week.
And today's topic is movies, and we have a ton of movie news from the last week that we definitely want to talk about,
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so the first thing off the docket is a little far out, but I have seen sort of the first snippets of it, and it's very exciting. So there's a Netflix original movie, straight up original movie. With Will Smith called Bright. That alone, you're like, what is that? What is that? What does that make sense? Supposedly he's an LA cop. This is how you see in the clip. He's an LA cop. He's obviously going into work, doing the LA cop thing. You think nothing about it. And then a person that looks like an orc comes out with a shotgun and out of like a convenience store. And then you see clips of like these very ephemeral looking people that look like elves.
Okay.
But then Will Smith has a sword in his hand, like an old-fashioned crusader sword in his hand. And then you start, and I did a little digging after this because it was super fascinating. Turns out Bright is a story about Will Smith, who's an LA cop, who is partnered with the first orc LA cop.
Okay.
So this is urban fantasy to the nines. This is today modern LA with elves and orcs and magic and other stuff that is going on. It looks super fascinating and weird. It looks great.
Yeah, that sounds
pretty great.
I need to.
What I like about it, it's Netflix, so they're putting so much money into the original content, and this has a big name actor. It's Will Smith.
This is pretty high up for them.
Yeah,
actually, like they don't. I mean, they're starting to get some A-list actors, but this is really probably the top of the top that they could ever hope of getting.
Yeah. For something that probably won't be out in theaters. This probably won't, I think.
It won't, no.
Yeah, for far as I've read so far, this is not going to be in theaters. This is probably going to air on Netflix.
Yeah.
As a Netflix original movie. I'm like, sign me up. I want to see more of this.
I like the fact that it's a movie and not a TV series. Because while, I'm sure like the world, we could probably have seasons upon seasons of just that world, but the fact that it's a movie, so it won't only kind of be 2-3 hours tops, is pretty amazing because, they're having some trouble with, like, I know I watched the Santa Clarita Diet and I had to take breaks because it wasn't that it wasn't fun, it just was so dense. Yeah. Because that's kind of where Netflix is going now.
And I think this is one of those shock and awe moments of entertainment for Netflix. Like, we're going to make a movie with Will Smith and it's going to have orcs and elves, but it's also going on today. So it's really like hyper fast, hyper intense. We don't understand. We don't get it. It's not like, we're going to do a Tolkien Fellowship of the Ring knockoff or something like that. It's like we're doing something original with our original, which I'm all for.
That's pretty awesome.
There's no release date yet, so be on the lookout for it. It's called Bright. Look it up. Follow along. See, I'm sure I'll talk a lot more about it as it gets closer to time to be released.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And I have some Deadpool 2 news, and it actually helps with some local news. Atlanta breakout star Zazie Beetz has been casted as Domino. Ryan Reynolds, as of course, he's become kind of, if you need Deadpool news, you go to Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. You don't go anywhere else. And he loves posting it on social media. So his first post was Zazie's name written in dominoes. And if that wasn't, on the nose enough, he later posted a photo on Twitter of Zazie's head photoshopped onto Domino, writing Deadpool. Not in a... It's weird, but not in like an X-rated way. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway.
So that's really cool. We get this local star with a very local show.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really cool character in a fantastic franchise.
I love Domino. Yeah. She's so sassy and so just like, she does not take Deadpool's crap. So I am very excited to see Sassy Beetz in this, because this is going to be fantastic, and I fully support her casting. I know everybody really wanted Janelle Monáe, and she would have made a fantastic Domino as well, but I feel like giving a chance to a newer star is going to make or break this girl's career.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and I think that this is definitely going to make her career because she's
And-
already been fantastic in
and
everything else she's
I'm
done.
assuming Ryan Reynolds and the rest of his casting crew are like, we're willing to take a chance with the Deadpool franchise. We took a chance once. We did gangbusters with it, so let's do this again.
Exactly.
Let's keep riding that third rail and try to keep getting great things out of newer things. And more power to him. Keep going, Ryan Reynolds. We're all behind you.
Exactly. No, I'm super excited. And of course, that this also means we will eventually see some cable news coming down the line.
That will be earth-shattering when it happens.
Oh yeah, it will, and people will be very angry and very upset
Or
because
super happy.
their person didn't get chosen. So, well, I expect some Reddit fights.
Yeah. I'm championing Ron Perlman.
You want Ron Perlman?
Yes.
What was the other gentleman?
That was Russell Crowe.
No, not Russell Crowe.
No.
Last week,
we talked about
the
it last
guy
week.
from Stranger Things. Who?
No.
Things
This was the guy from Avatar.
Oh yeah.
The big bad.
Yeah, the big bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
We're
I apologize.
blanking on the name, and I feel so bad.
But I'm behind that guy, whoever that guy is.
And then, of course, I think they're slowly just going to say that Deadpool's being filmed here in Atlanta, and I think that since they are actually in talks with the guy from Stranger Things that we talked about last week, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he is picked, and then they just go, surprise, we're filming here like all the other Marvel movies. And that'll be great because
Ryan Reynolds is
Ryan Reynolds will be here with us, and we'll have a lot of fun, I'm sure.
So, also, the Just Cause movie was announced starring Jason Momoa. And that's going to be awesome. I actually play the Just Cause series of video games. It's basically, I like to describe it as you're playing a Hispanic assassin Spider-Man going around sparking a revolution against a dictator by playing with physics, like attaching people to cars and helicopters to different things and just going crazy. Now, of course, I think this movie will be a bit difficult to, I guess, work out given what you can do in the game versus, I guess, the reality of what you can do in real life. But I feel like it can work if, as we had a conversation about it before, if, you go balls to the wall, all out, and not take itself too seriously.
Oh, yeah.
And then plus, like, just in terms of a lot of 3D rendering and movie magic, I believe that we could probably get something pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, you're seeing the cow being strapped to the rocket going off in space, aren't you?
I mean, we won't do that in real life, hopefully. That would be bad. But Jason Momoa also is a Atlanta native. I obviously didn't originally live here, but has lived here for quite many of years. So that's pretty fun. Yeah. I'm excited to see him in anything and everything.
I think he'll do it. He's my man crush right now. He's great. Jason Momoa, keep doing what you're doing.
Man crush.
Man crush.
Pretty good. And we do have some other news that dropped on Saturday.
Yeah, this is hot take right now.
Wonder Woman origin trailer.
I can't hum the theme song.
It's okay.
Well. But yeah,
it works.
It dropped. Her origin trailer showed the actress Gal Gadot, fighting against another Amazon. There was a lot going on there. Her going into actual London and stuff. Trying to fit in the fish out of water story
I still think that the sword did match the outfit. How dare they? To me, the origin trailer definitely showed a lot of elements from Wonder Woman True Amazon by Jill Thompson. It's 2014 graphic novel that's just fantastic. It's one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. It definitely has those elements, so I feel like if I can already see that, I can already kind of see what they're basing it off of. Obviously, they're sitting at 1940s, like the original, the original run of Wonder Woman while also incorporating the old TV show and all the movies, and it's amazing.
Slight correction: it's actually World War One. So
World War One. Sorry,
this is before the 1920s. This is early. Right. This is early-ish in America's history.
Okay, yeah.
And history on the world stage, and that's what makes it so interesting, in my opinion. The trailer looks great. Gal Gadot, I think, will do a fantastic job. But I'm fascinated to see what it's like, how they portray a world that America doesn't often get to look at, which is the world in World War One, not
which
World
of
War
course
II.
was not, and that's one reason why it's in London.
Yeah.
Since America really wasn't. I mean, I know that we did a little bit, but we didn't really get involved into World War II.
Right.
So this, yeah.
It looks really cool. It looks like they go to London, and it's like night and day between Themyscira and London.
Yeah.
Like literally night and day. It's kind of interesting, and then we also, it looks like I think it also takes place in Germany. Like
yes.
at least in that area region of the world, like there's something going on with the not the Axis power, the I've forgotten. I apologize.
The Axel powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Axis.
Yeah. Axis. Axis, not Axel. Axis.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just excited to see Wonder Woman actually be on the big screen. I do feel like this is probably going to be the strongest DC Warner Brothers movie that's really come out in the last 17 years. Actually, like I kind of believe it might. I mean, of course, I know everybody. There's some.
Yes.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic. I mean, I know that there's some people who are probably going to be really angry at me saying Dark Knight's not the greatest, but I feel like this actually might be pretty good.
She just said the thing.
I did say the thing, and
it is one.
It has some flaws.
No,
okay,
it has a lot of flaws.
It's not the greatest. I will definitely, but I think it's one of the best.
It is one of the best movies that DC Comics and Warner Brothers have put out. Yes.
Nolan, thank you very much.
Sure.
All right. We'll talk about that.
That will
later.
be an off the rails topic on one day, because yeah. Anyway,
we'll have a big debate about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, in lovely, lovely Marvel cinematic
Here
news.
to save us all.
Here to save us all.
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum. Yay. All right, Thor Ragnarok. Am I saying it right? Ragnarok. I forgot my G.
The
Sorry.
Norse end of the world time, apocalypse, end of the world.
Yeah, basically the first images, and then they kind of just threw a lot out there. They basically almost gave you the whole movie.
Vomited
and they don't even
Yep.
care, which is fantastic, actually. Like, it just shows they know it's going to be a lot of fun, and the first images definitely show it. It's got a very kind of 80s vibe. Two articles for the titles. One at independent.uk literally just says it has some intense 80s vibes, while bleedingcool.com literally called it Big Trouble in Little Asgard. So I'm really just excited. I am going to butcher this name, so please help me. Taika Waititi?
Yeah, Taika Waititi.
Is New Zealand's latest directing import. He previously has been on, it's mostly indie, like these really weird, funny, kind of dark comedy indie films. He took a chance. He gave them this pitch for Disney for Thor, and they took it and ran with it. And it was basically, let's give Chris Hemsworth the comedy writing he deserves. So, as we all know, if you watch the new Ghostbusters reboot, really Chris Hemsworth steals the show.
Yep.
Even though I hate his character, he steals the show. So this is going to be great. And he's playing off of, obviously we have Hulk. So
Yep. Hulk will be there on Sakaar.
Hulk and Thor buddy movie.
It's a Hulk and Thor buddy movie. So, we have just so many big names.
Okay, we got Kate Blanchett as the main villainess.
Yes.
Which is really cool because this is going to be Marvel's first female villain.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to grab everybody's names.
Hold on.
What?
Okay.
Hold on.
What?
With the whole 80s aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
And then the Hulk and Thor buddy angle. Is Odin going to be the always frustrated police chief?
Maybe. Give me that hammer. You don't deserve it.
Well, he doesn't have his hammer.
You're out of here, Thor.
Hey, we don't know. I mean, this could totally happen because Thor does not have his hammer.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have his hair.
Yeah, Entertainment Weekly, the big image they splattered all over their front page of their latest magazine was Chris Hemsworth with short hair, no Mjolnir hammer, and he's got 2 swords, and he looks like he's ready to fight in a gladiator.
Yeah, he is in the gladiator.
And the basic synopsis of what we got is something has happened. He does not have Mjolnir, and now he's fighting in a gladiatorial pits overseen by...
the Grandmaster, a.k.a. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. The aesthetic, I want to go back to the aesthetic real quick, because it blows my mind when I look at it. It is Kirby. It is Kirby as anything.
This is like, to me, this
Jack
is Kirby.
Jack
Yeah,
Kirby.
Jack Kirby. This is like Kirby's Last Stand. I also especially love, like, when this came out, all of a sudden Stan Lee got sick and had to cancel some stuff. So, I mean, if anybody knows, they really didn't get...
Yeah.
I mean, they got along and didn't get along like most competing artists do. But oh my God, I'm so excited about this movie. And, like, there was even, Chris Hemsworth had even said to Entertainment Weekly about Thor is just a fanboy for these Valkyries, featuring Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. The Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie, and it's going to be pretty great because she's also the romantic interest for this movie.
And the general gist is he's going to be where those gladiatory pits are is Sakaar, which anyone who's a Hulk fan will know that is the big
Planet
famous,
Hulk.
Yeah, Planet Hulk is basically, so we're kind of getting 2 movies kind of squished into one, and we're going to basically get a Planet Hulk movie with Hulk dealing with Thor and his entire situation. Yep. I'm fascinated by this movie. It will only get more interesting the more we get.
Also, speaking of like...
exactly, sir.
Yes. Also, speaking of, thanks to IMDb's new rating system to show the cast, basically it'll push anybody who is higher up on searches to the head, like to the top. So we also know Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in it as Stephen Strange. So obviously this movie's going to start off with Thor trying to find Loki, who has basically caused Asgard to run a little bit of amok. So we already know this, and we already know that this somehow will lead us into Ragnarok.
And also in Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
Because this is all really going to start wrapping up into the idea of the big Avengers movies. So, but I think that's all we got for today.
Yes. At least for movie news. Obviously, we will definitely have more on Thor because it looks like this is just going to steamroll into crazy till it gets there. And I'm excited.
Yes, so who are we and where can they find us?
All right, well, I am on Girl Friday Cause on Twitter and Instagram at KMcDaniel28.
I am at BioImportance on Twitter.
And I'm at Zonga Audio on Twitter, and this is Zonga Fielding signing out.
All right, well, if you do have any questions or have any suggestions to talk about for movie news, please feel free to send us an email at zeromile@terminusmedia.com. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. We will see you next Thursday, guys. Bye.
Have a good week.